In today's video, we'll be looking at some creepy pieces of EVPs or electronic voice phenomena captured by ordinary people. But are these EVPs the actual voices of dead, restless spirits trying to communicate with us and send a message, or is it all just pure fabrication? So sit back and try to relax. Reddit user Quench Noodle writes that they were at a local cemetery last Halloween in Florida and caught this EVP while recording a video. To us, it sounded like a woman saying, "What have you done to me?" Any thoughts? They tried to isolate the sound as best they could. Take a listen.
Guys.
The user is no stranger to ghost hunting and searching out the paranormal, as they write that we went to an abandoned hospital near Hollandale as well a year prior and caught some really freaky evidence in a stairwell. Regarding this EVP, however, Quench Noodle mentions that as far as we know there was nobody near us at the time, but it is entirely possible there could have been, although we were there around 2 AM and checked everywhere. Has the disembodied voice of a spirit been captured by this amateur ghost hunter? The likelihood of someone else being present near a cemetery in the early hours of the morning is slim, and the voice seems distant and afraid. Yet we can clearly make out the words being spoken, which lends credence to this being an authentic piece of electronic voice phenomena. But what do you think? Reddit user SC Ace of Spades writes that on the 31st of October from 7:30 PM to 9:30 PM, my wife and I went on a paranormal investigation in an old jail that performed 2 executions in the 1800s. We were the only 2 people in the building. I'm working on the full video as we speak and need permission from the sheriff, but here's an EVP we got that night. Take a listen to what they captured. While the 4-second clip provides little information, the uploader does provide some context. They tell us that while the footsteps you hear in the clip are from us, we left this camera running alone for an hour and a half while we explored. We got numerous footsteps when no one was up there, moans, EVPs, intelligent spirit box responses, and a figure in the door that should just be a black void. As far as this EVP, I don't honestly know. RID or RIP, but that wouldn't make any sense. Regarding what's heard in the video, other Reddit users were quick to comment that the EVP sounds a lot like someone saying, "Help me." I've tried to enhance the sound as best I can, but what do you hear? Reddit user WitcherWoman writes, "I think I captured an EVP while filming my new robot. At 5 seconds you can hear what sounds like a voice saying, 'Hey.' I didn't hear it at the time of filming. No one was talking, and it's not a voice I recognise. I thought it could just be the robot, but the sound has not been heard again." Take a listen. The user clarifies that while the ghostly voice heard at the beginning of the clip does sound like it belongs to a child, her children at the time of filming were upstairs playing games, and in any case have higher pitched voices compared to the voice captured on the video. Furthermore, at some points of the video you can clearly hear the distant voices of her other children, who sound like they're playing upstairs or in another room. The user also writes that the robotic mop doesn't speak at all or issue any voice commands. What's creepier is that another user points out that a softer "hey" can be heard at the beginning of the clip, before the more audible one is heard. So did WitcherWoman capture the disembodied voice of a child's spirit while innocently filming their new cleaning gadget? Let me know down below in the comments. Reddit user Reddit Bans Free Speak writes that after getting shot in the eye with a BB gun, he caught a ghost EVP inside of a trauma ambulance. Here's what he managed to capture, and listen carefully towards the end of the clip. The uploader states very clearly that he was alone in the back of the ambulance while he was filming the video. He writes that right when they close the first door at the end, you can hear a whisper say, "It's fine, I'm ready." This is why I didn't want to share this for so long. Check my profile. I'm an avid airsofter who just had an injury and had to take an ambulance ride. No, there was no one in the back with me. No, it wasn't the ambulance driver. It's literally a whisper right next to my phone. Why would the ambulance driver whisper that? There was no one in the back with me. The voice is very audible and you can clearly make out each word that's being said. And if the user was indeed alone in the back of the ambulance, this is indeed an incredibly creepy piece of EVP captured on video. There are many apps that detect and record sound that happens when you're sleeping, but Reddit user Steve Mage God was in for a disturbing surprise when he listened to what his app had recorded the previous night. He writes that, "I captured this insanely creepy spirit voice that's whispering to me in my sleep, then starts laughing. I'm actually freaked out on this EVP. Please listen. Can you guys make out what it's saying? Because I can't." Take a listen to what the app managed to capture that night. What's scary is that you can clearly make out a demonic sounding laugh towards the end of the first recording, as well as distant whispering throughout the clip. The uploader writes that the laughing is what creeped me out the most, to be honest. I've never heard the spirits in my house laugh before clarifying that the door opening sound was one of my parents going to bed late at night. I've captured footsteps on the app when no one was home, but the door opening was 100% one of my parents. I basically never get up and I'm a sound sleeper. He also adds that I've sat and listened to this for a good 10 minutes. It definitely sounds like, come here, but the voice sounds sleepy or strained, almost kind of desperate. He also says there's a sound like a patting or puckering lips, like when you blow kisses to your pet, if that makes sense. I don't know how to describe it. Definitely creepy. But what do you think Steve managed to capture on his app? Leave your thoughts down below. Another Reddit user, Blootily Bloop, also downloaded and tried an app that records sounds that occur when you're fast asleep, and upon reviewing the next day what the app had recorded the previous night, it will certainly freak you out. The user writes that the EVP caught on the Sleep Talk app was recorded a few years ago. The person was alone in their room and the voice, or whatever it is, sounds absolutely nothing like them. Take a listen to the clip. You can clearly make out the words "here, here" in the audio clip, and if no one else was around at the time of recording, it certainly makes for a truly disturbing piece of EVP. Other users commented that it could simply be the uploader snoring, but said uploader writes that I've caught myself snoring before and it sounds drastically different. I'm not saying it's not a possibility, but I sleep alone, so genuinely don't know if two random snores can sound that different. Has this Reddit user captured the voice of a spirit in their home, watching over them as they sleep? The popular paranormal investigation team led by Zach Baggins in the TV show Ghost Adventures is investigating a haunted location and, as they frequently do, they take out their recorder and begin asking questions to any spirits that may be present in the room. What they manage to record is simply terrifying. Take a listen.
I hear Zach crystal clear.
Let's say it.
As I ask this entity who it's connected to, it clearly says my full name.
I hear Zach crystal clear. Never heard that. Never.
What brought you here?
I've never heard that.
I have never in my life heard anything like that. Never.
Dude, what the?
Not only do they manage to capture a voice uttering Zach's name directly, but they also manage to record a demonic scream that will surely send chills down your spine. While the name being whispered could have easily been faked by a member of the team, the same thing can't be said for the blood-curdling shriek that soon follows the first recording. The members of the team are accounted for, and while he's recording, no scream, shriek or cry is audible. But what do you think? Did the Ghost Adventures team manage to capture an EVP and true evidence of life after death?
What brought you here?
I've never heard that.
I have never in my life heard anything like that. Never.
If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and liking the video. But until next time, sleep tight.